morning, students. Today we will start with second term syllabus. We will start lesson number 4, the structure of the atom. It is video 11 of class 8 chemistry. We know all the things in the nature are made up of tiny particles. We call the tiny particles atoms. When atoms combine, they form molecules. These atoms are indivisible. We know these tiny particles are made up of subatomic particles, electrons, protons and neutrons. And who give this revolutionary idea? Let's discuss in this chapter. The revolutionary ideas are given by Maharishi Kannad, Indian philosopher. Gave his idea that all the matter or things are made up of tiny particles called Pramanu. Pramanu word is taken from the Sanskrit, in which Parma means final or ultimate and Anu means particle. Further, that Pramanu combine to form bigger particle. Then Democritus and Leucippus. These two Greek philosophers, they gave the similar idea that each substance made up of small piece, that piece could not be divided into small parts. So they gave the name atoms, means indivisible, and ultimately particles. Then Dalton gave his theory. According to Maharishi Kannad, Democritus and Leucippus, the philosophy given by these three remain unforgotten for more than thousands years. But with the time change, chemistry developed. Then in 1803, English chemist John Dalton put forward atomic theory. That theory is known as Dalton theory. In the theory, Dalton gave that elements are made up of very small particles of matter called atoms. And atom word is derived from the Greek word. Secondly, atoms are indivisible. Third, the atoms of an element have the same weight. Fourth, atoms of different elements have different weight. Fifth, it is the atoms of element that take part in a chemical reaction. Sixth, atom of an element combine in a simple numerical ratio with those of other elements to form compound. Then definition of atom. It is defined as smallest part of an element that takes part in a chemical reaction. The subatomic particles. Subatomic particles in 19th century, it was proved that atoms are divisible and it is made up of subatomic or fundamental particles. Which particles? Electrons, protons and neutrons. Now we will discuss first subatomic particle, the electron. Under ordinary condition, gases are bad conductor of electricity. Gases not allow electricity to pass through it. But gas becomes a good conductor of electricity under some condition. Conditions are the pressure of the gas is very low, means 10 mm of mercury or low. Second, voltage apply is very high, up to 10,000 volt. Under these two conditions, gases become the good conductor of electricity. So these conditions are achieved in discharge tube. What is discharge tube? Discharge tube is a long glass tube. At the two ends, it is sealed with two metallic plates. These plates are connected with electrode, negative, positive. Electrode connected with negative terminal of the battery, we call it cathode. Electrode connected with the positive terminal of the battery, we call it anode. One of the side of the discharge tube, it is connected to an exhaust pump, due to which we can lower the pressure of the gas inside the discharge tube. When high voltage is applied, how much? 10,000 volt. Applied across the terminal, the pressure inside the tube become decrease, and values they have given 0.01 to 0.001 mm of mercury. So pressure decreases inside the glass tube. Then when high voltage is applied, cathode linked metal plate, it start glowing. That phenomena we call it as fluorescence. Then invisible rays starting from cathode fall on the opposite wall of the tube, causing fluorescence. And these rays known as cathode rays. Some lines you have to underline. When high voltage is applied across terminal, the pressure inside the tube decreases. End of the tube opposite the cathode starts glowing. This phenomena is known as fluorescence. Then you will underline that invisible rays starting from the cathode fall on the opposite wall of the tube, causing fluorescence. These rays were named cathode rays. Characteristics of cathode rays. Sir J.J. Thomson, underline the name of the scientist, and others found that cathode rays have following characteristics. First characteristics of cathode rays, that cathode rays originated from cathode and travel in straight line. How they come to know about the characteristics of cathode ray? That these rays travel in straight line. They make the setup in the discharge tube, and then they place a metallic object at the path of cathode ray. High voltage is applied, then from the cathode same way it start glowing. That phenomena we know fluorescence, it is known as. Then we come to know that shadow of metallic object is formed at the opposite wall of the discharge tube. And we know the rectilinear propagation property of light. Similarly, these cathode rays also follow rectilinear propagation of light principle, means these rays also move in straight line. So, when light travel in straight line, shadow formation is there, and we come to know the characteristics that cathode rays travel in straight line. Second characteristics, cathode rays are stream of particles, mean number of particles combinedly they move with high speed. Then they set up apparatus of discharge tube like this. They arrange one light paddle wheel in the path of cathode rays. Similarly, they apply high voltage at low pressure during this experiment. Then from the negative terminal, cathode rays start originating. When cathode rays start originating, the light paddle wheel, it start rotating. It shows that cathode rays has some particles which strike with the paddle of the wheel, due to which it start rotating. So they come to know that cathode rays are a stream of particles. Third characteristics of cathode ray, the particles constituting cathode rays are negatively charged. To prove this, that cathode rays bend toward the positive terminal, they arrange two electric plates inside the discharge tube. Similarly, when at high voltage from cathode metallic plate cathode rays originate, the rays bend toward the positive electric plate. So, they conclude that particles constituting cathode rays are negatively charged. Fourth characteristic, the particle constituting cathode ray are all alike. They do not change with the gas, the electrodes, and the kinds of glass used for making the tube. Thus, Sir J.J. Thomson conclude that the particles of the cathode rays are universal constituents of all atoms, and these parts were named as electron in 1897. Relative charge and mass of electron. Electrons are negatively charged particle. They have -1 unit of charge, and mass of electron is about 1 by 1840th part of hydrogen. So it is treated as negligible. Revise once again. First character, they originate at the cathode and travel in straight line. Second, cathode rays are a stream of particles. Third, the particles constituting cathode rays are negatively charged. Fourth, particles constituting cathode rays are all alike. They do not change with the gas, the electrodes, and the kind of glass used for making the tube. Then Sir J.J. Thomson conclude that particles constituting cathode rays are a universal constituents of all atoms, and these particles were named new electrons in 1897. Electrons are negatively charged and mass is 1 by 1840th of the hydrogen atom. So electron considered as negligible particle. Now we will discuss about the proton. An atom is electrically neutral, but electrons present in atom is negatively charged. It means atom must have some positively charged particle. That's why its overall charge is become zero or neutral. So these particles should be found in discharge tube when cathode rays are formed. Anode rays. Eugen Goldstein repeated cathode ray experiment by using perforated cathode. Then he observed that red glow on the wall opposite to the anode. So some rays have traveled in the direction opposite to cathode rays. This one is positive ray and this white indicate negative, means cathode rays. From anode terminal to cathode. From anode toward the cathode. These rays are called anode rays or canal rays. Moved through the perforation or canal. It was found that these rays contained positively charged particles, so J.J. Thomson called them positive rays, and Eugene Goldstein gave them the name of proton. Characteristics of anode rays. Anode rays are a stream of positively charged particle because these rays bend toward the negative plate in an electric field. Second, the particle constituting anode rays differ with the gas used in the discharge tube. Electron constituting the cathode ray must come from the atoms of the gas inside the discharge tube. Electrons are negatively charged particles, so the atom must be left with equivalent amount of positive charge. These positively charged particles that constitute the anode ray. Atoms of the gas. In the after applying high voltage, it discharge cathode rays which have negatively charged particle which we call electron. Similarly, equivalent amount of positively charged particles also release. We call them as positive charged particles, and when these particles move in stream, we call it as anode rays which have positive charge. We know electrons has a negligible mass. The particle A positive will have same mass as A. So the particle constituting anode rays will differ from gas to gas. When hydrogen, the lightest element, is taken in the discharge tube, the particle constituting the anode rays are called proton. Hydrogen, when we fill in the discharge tube and apply high voltage with low pressure, it release hydrogen positive proton which we call it as anode rays, and some electrons with negative charge we call them cathode rays. Relative charge and mass of a proton. Charge on the proton is same as that of an electron but with opposite sign. Proton have positive charge, so it has a unit positive charge. Mass of proton is same as the mass of hydrogen atom, that is 1 U. U means unified mass, which is the unit of atomic mass, and proton is about 1840 times heavier than electron. Note down some question for practice. Who discovered electron? Second, what is discharge tube? Third question, are cathode rays change with the gas? So revise the chapter up to the proton. Thank you.